classroom or cumulative curriculum. And we also talk about what it's like to be really critical and reflective of your own learning process. And also another benefit the teacher and I both see was this idea of community building. So, because some of the students make comments like, I didn't know that about my friends, or I didn't know all these things about my classmates. So that was really nice to know them as we have different experiences, but there are differences and similarities. And also, lastly, the idea of learner participation is huge for both me and the teachers. We do have an overarching things, but we really encourage the students to not just focus on the personal. We encourage them to reflect on the social, like what it's like learning English in Taiwan in general, not just your personal experience. So there's also a few critique of what the student were not happy about, way to learn English in Taiwan. And then a more recent, this one reference I could find on Photovoice and its relation to teaching and learning English as a second and foreign language. It's also a lot of researchers consider it's part of the project-based learning. So the idea is, pretty self-explanatory. Like the students do a research and report on their research, and they reflect upon what they have found out about themselves. And then lastly, I want to share a little bit, because we talked a lot about the pedagogy, the curriculum. So I think I've talked plenty about is it research or pedagogy. One of the goals for the teacher now is to reconcile our objectives as me as a researcher and she as a teacher in that space. So the reason this participatory photography project ended up the way it is right now is a lot of decision making between us. There's a lot of negotiation between me and the teacher. And also some of my recent reading on visual analysis or research on visual representations really prompt me to think about, so is it data or my way of collect data? So what are these photos? What are these stories? For me, it's both. Yes, I also use these photos and the written text to analyze, to help me triangulate my research and support my claim. But also, I use that to host my focus group discussion section. And then I know I have a stop sign, but I really want to make the last point, because this is critical to me. Because Photovoice or some form of Photovoice is seen as a critical action research tool. And a lot of people make an argument as it's meant to empower or emancipate your participants. And personally, as a researcher, I find it slightly arrogant to say, I come in here and I emancipate and empower you. It's not, and that is not my goal either. So the students, the way I see it, the students already have a voice, and most of them, they're just fine. They're very articulate. They know what they wanted to say. Although I do see some of the students, they really could use the opportunity in the space to help them reflect upon their experiences, or help them to really be more prepared to articulate their experience. So, I also really like the part about having that space for them to be engaged in the dialogue, to talk about their experience together, and to see how they can really better support each other as learners and the students. And so that is my question mark at the end. Thank you.
And we want to open it up quickly for questions, and if there will be more questions, we can do a dialogue online or over. Questions? Okay.
Just a quick background question. Was this a conversation class? Or
it's a conversation
class. It is a conversation class, great. And then this, obviously, as far as the teacher was concerned, she really, as you mentioned, had this pedagogical push. And I'm thinking that, and I'm wondering, you said that the two of you had to do some negotiation of this, and I'm wondering how you then melded the two voices, your two voices, together to achieve that kind of unison.
That's a really good question. So my approach is I try to be as flexible as possible. So for me, the Photovoice or participatory photography project is more of a general framework. So how do we engage these learners to create and document and research their own experiences? That's really what I wanted at the end. For her, she talks a lot about like ratings and making sure they are doing the right thing or getting me the right data, which is please. Okay. So did I answer your question?
In a general way,
yeah.
It's okay, I'll let others ask questions.
I don't have a question, I just have a comment. I just really appreciate the way that you talked about Photovoice and the adaptation and the history of it, and kind of led us into the much larger picture and how you're applying it in your site and field and everything. It just was a really nice way that you talked about that.
And if anyone has further questions,
Yes.
we'll continue that. But again, thank you for not only your service to our department, but also for your honesty and your ambition with your work, and your discussions of your key questions during the whole process has really helped us a lot as well. So thank you.
Thank you.
The